Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like this video, and leave a comment if you find these insights valuable. This isn't just another survival tip. It's a technique that's endured centuries and is still relevant today for anyone seeking warmth without modern blankets. Let's get straight to it. Humans have relied on more than just blankets for warmth throughout history. Long before synthetic fibers and woolen blankets were mass-produced, communities across Europe, Asia and the Americas had developed alternatives that were not only effective but also adaptable to harsh winter conditions. One method that stands out involves the use of layered natural insulation, often in combination with body heat management and shelter optimization. This wasn't improvisation, it was science refined over generations. The core principle behind this ancient alternative is insulation through layering and material choice. People didn't have thick comforters, but they had furs, hides, straw and even moss, which they used strategically to create microenvironments that trapped heat. A simple example comes from Viking longhouses. Sleeping platforms were raised off the cold floors, covered with furs and stuffed with dried grasses or reeds. This not only insulated the body from the chill below, but also allowed air to circulate, reducing moisture buildup that could sap heat. Today, a prepper can replicate this by using natural materials found in forests or rural areas. Lay down a thick layer of dry leaves, pine needles, or even hay on a tarp or cot. Then cover yourself with wool, cotton, or other breathable fabrics. The principle is the same. Keep the cold away from your body and trap your heat in layers. Furs and hides are not just for aesthetics. They were survival tools. Historically, furs were prized not for their fashion, but for their ability to maintain warmth, even when damp. Indigenous peoples across North America often slept wrapped in animal pelts, layering them with lighter cloths or grass mats. The fur's natural oils repel water, which means you could survive nights in snowy conditions without freezing. For modern survivalists, this teaches an important lesson. Synthetic substitutes may work, but natural materials offer advantages in extreme situations. Using sheepskin or deer hide over a sleeping bag or layering wool over cotton can dramatically improve warmth retention, especially in shelters without central heating. Straw and grass have been underestimated as insulation. In rural Europe, particularly during the Middle Ages, peasants didn't have thick blankets. Instead, they packed straw into sacks or mattresses to sleep on. This created a dual effect: insulation from the cold ground and airflow that retained body heat. For modern preppers, this can be applied by stuffing tarps or sleeping platforms with dry straw or even shredded cardboard in emergencies. It may sound simple, but it can raise the effective warmth of your sleeping arrangement by several degrees, a difference between shivering and comfortable rest in cold environments. Layering works when materials are chosen strategically. Layering isn't just piling materials randomly. It's about, combining dense insulating layers with breathable fabrics to control moisture and maximize heat retention. Ancient populations instinctively practiced this. For example, Scandinavian settlers layered linen sheets, wool, and animal pelts. Each layer served a purpose. Linen absorbed sweat and moisture, wool trapped heat even when damp, and furs provided an outer barrier against wind. Modern survivalists can apply this principle with what's available. Wear thermal base layers under a wool sweater. Then add a tarp or thick cloth over yourself at night, supplemented with natural padding underneath. This method doesn't just mimic historical practices. It actually improves comfort and reduces the risk of hypothermia. Shelter and positioning amplify the effect of alternative insulation. The ancients understood that warmth isn't just about what you cover yourself with. It's about how you manage your environment. Sleeping platforms were raised, corners of huts were lined with insulating materials, and tents or shelters were arranged to minimize drafts. Even a modern prepper can replicate this by using cots or pallets to lift your sleeping bag or bedding off cold floors, placing windbreaks around tents and sealing gaps that let in air. Pairing this with layered natural insulation can produce a sleeping setup that rivals modern heated beds in terms of practical warmth. Start by collecting accessible natural materials: dry leaves, pine needles, hay, moss or straw. Prepare sleeping platforms raised from the ground, adding a thick layer of your chosen insulation. Cover this with a combination of breathable fabrics and furs or wool, depending on availability. And make sure ventilation is balanced so moisture does not accumulate. Even in urban environments, this method can work. Fill old blankets with shredded cardboard or fabrics to create insulating layers, and use rugs or mats under sleeping areas to mimic ground insulation. By combining historical wisdom with modern understanding, you create a highly effective and low-cost alternative to conventional blankets. The key takeaway is efficiency and adaptability. This ancient blanket alternative works because it respects the laws of heat retention and moisture management. It's practical, proven, and scalable. Whether you're in a forest, a rural homestead, or facing an emergency scenario in a city, the principles remain the same. Layer wisely, use insulating materials, manage moisture, and optimize your sleeping environment. History isn't just a record of the past, it's a guidebook for survival in the present. Make sure you subscribe to Warfield Prepper Chronicles, like this video, and leave a comment sharing how you've used or plan to use these ancient methods. Share this guide with fellow enthusiasts who value practical, historical, and survivalist wisdom. Mastering these techniques ensures that warmth, like history itself, endures.